is the next room that we're doing in the house. I have to move all these tools. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to film the intro in front of it because that's how I'm feeling today. Don't get too close in 4K. I got a chemical peel and my face is peeling like a snake. But hi, welcome back, you guys, or I really should be saying that to myself. Welcome back to my channel, Rachel Metz, and welcome back to the Renovation, Rachel Metz. We are here today to give you the first room reveal of my desert home renovation. If you guys were here when I started the 90-day solo home renovation, I think I got to episode 3 before my English bulldog passed while I was asleep. I woke up and she was gone. And it kind of wrecked my world and slowed my roll, and it took me a second, but now I'm getting back to it. The room that we were working on last is actually the first room that I decided to make over when I got Blaze as a puppy, and we were like a new family of 3. It was Callie, myself, and Blaze. Now this room, it's kind of weird, full circle, is being completed, and it is just a family of 2 again, back to being just me and Blaze. And it's just really weird, but anywho, I don't want to give myself any kind of hard deadline with this renovation. It would be nice to have the majority of the interior done just as an homage to Callie and I moving out here for our move-in like anniversary, if you will. I don't know, you know me, I like to be real, so I'm just popping on here with my chemical peeled face and just saying like, hi, this is me coming back in doing the renovation and not running away and continuing to build the life that Callie and I originally moved out here to build. And let me show you what this room used to look like. It was pretty aggressive. I made a couple mistakes along the way, which I'm going to point out, and then we're going to show you how I got to the final reveal today. Before we dive any further, let me tell you that the rooms, the 2 guest rooms in my house, are going to be designed after 2 of the closest people in my life. So this suite that you're going to see is called Suite 104, and that is for Woodbrain, who is Lindsay, my best friend, my soul sister, and her husband's anniversary 10-4. And this is basically their suite that they would stay in. So as we do this episode, you're going to start to really learn why I'm putting the pieces in, why the textures are there that I'm incorporating, why I'm using reclaimed lumber sometimes, and just the story behind some of the touches of decor, because I feel like, I don't know, at least for these 2 bedrooms, it's way more than just a room. It's way more than just decor. And I would love to show you how I'm all about the small details. So let's dive into it, shall we? When I decided to tackle this room for the first time a couple years ago, I definitely wasn't ready, and I was just pushing through deadlines to get some content in for sponsors to then return, put it on YouTube, and it just was a big rushed mess. I am really tired of doing that, and I apologize. I'm going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, I've linked all the videos for this episode down below, but that's literally what's going to happen because I did it in so many segments to consistently put out content when I was taking a quote-unquote break. Anywho, I digress. I scraped off the popcorn ceilings ages ago in the middle of summer, and that was ridiculous. I painted it a rusty gate color, that terracotta color that you're going to see later on in the episode, as well as even dabbling into welding for the first time. There was like a $15,000 light or something ridiculous, probably like $5,000, and it was made out of plastic. And so I hit my buddy Brett up, and this was the first time I learned how to weld. It's just a really simple weld, but it turned out quite beautiful. I demoed the closet that was there, thinking I wanted to open up the guest room, so that's what this little nook is. We're hanging the piano bones up in, but you'll see I eventually build that wall back because I was like, my guests don't need the space. I need a master closet. However, the first year living here, renovating this room and just doing other projects was really about tapping into the new community I was building. I definitely leaned into the themed portion of making it very Western and saloony, and I want to kind of pull back away from that and make it a little bit more chic this time around. Once I stepped away from this for a bit and worked on the trailer, I came back, I was like, okay, I need to build the wall back up, number 1, and do an accent wall. Number 2, let's build a bed that's actually the height it should be, and then I ended up making it a little bit taller. And then number 3, let's install a door to give us some light, shall we? Because we need more light, and I think just a private access would be great. Me wanting to quit is really where I gave up last time, and now we're just going to dive back into it. Let's secure the door that we just put in. I am so excited to show you guys how I will be leveling up my home throughout this renovation, all thanks to Best Buy and Level Homes Level Lock Plus Smart Lock. So 2 things are going to be going onto the door that we just installed together a couple of episodes ago. We're going to be installing this smart invisible lock to the door itself, and then the keypad on the exterior of the home for guest entry.
If you guys have never heard of Level Home before, they're actually a company disrupting the smart home space. Their latest lock, the Level Lock Plus, which we're going to be installing here, is a premium design smart lock that allows you to never have to worry about losing or making copies of house keys again. And if you've seen Hannah's vlogs, you've seen that I've had to break into my house because I'm always missing my house key.
Ooh, that's really pretty. Woo! Ah, Homestat's here. That is sexy. Ooh, it looks like a regular lock. That's insane. It's not bulky or any. You can't. What? I'm losing my mind right now.
As you just saw my reaction to this smart lock, most smart locks look clunky and techy and require you to add big clunky boxes to the inside of your home. The Level Lock Plus is sleek and literally looks like a regular contemporary lock, so you don't have to advertise that you have a smart lock on your home.
I'll take that.
You won't have to add the hole to your door, hopefully. I have done this a couple times before, so I felt confident in doing so. So I am just adding a space for the lock itself. Typically, when you get a door though, you'll have 2 holes, one for a handle and one for the lock. I just had to DIY it a little bit. Hands down, this is the easiest smart lock that I have ever installed. It is also the sleekest and tiniest and least overwhelming to install as well. Let me just start there. The only thing that's a little bit different than your traditional lock is this little part right here where you like push the heart of the lock into place and just secure it with that little screw. Everything else is just like doing a normal lock. And the Level Lock Plus only requires 1 single CR2 battery, and you can see how easy it is to change it since it literally lives inside the bolt. It's like a little, just technology is wild.
Level locks.
When you install this lock, you're going to go ahead and download the Level Home app. And like I said, it walks you through the installation here. You add your lock, you sync it. It literally took less than 2 minutes for me to do that portion.
What? This is wild. Okay, downloading, transferring. This is the smart, it doesn't even look like a smart lock.
I think one of the coolest things about this is the Apple Home connection. The thing that I am most excited about though is the Apple Home and the Home Key. I am not the best with technology, so that's why you constantly see my mind being blown throughout this. But you could literally just hold your phone up to the lock and the lock open. Like, what do you mean? I didn't even know that was a thing. When you set up Apple Home keys on your Level Lock Plus, you can enter your home in the same way you pay for your groceries using Apple Pay. Simply tap your iPhone or Apple Watch to unlock your door, and anyone who lives in the home can use home keys to let themselves in too. Situation? That's crazy. And then say you don't have that though, or that capability, you can also go ahead and grab Level's keypad, which I've linked down below for you guys.
That's insane.
As you saw, I was completely blown away every turn of this journey of installing the Level Lock Plus smart lock and the keypad. If you guys want to go ahead and add this into your household, the links are down below for you. And obviously Best Buy has a ton of other products for you to check out over on their website. I've linked both of them down below and in the pinned comment. Thank you so much to Best Buy for sponsoring today's video. Let's get right back into this room and finish it.
It is so weird because this used to be the plant wall that is now in the suite that you just saw me complete over there a while back on a couple episodes, which I'll link for you as well. There we go. All right, so a little fun fact for you. Before I had this house, Lindsay, which she has this video over on her YouTube channel, was doing a garage makeover where she was getting rid of a lot of items, or had to get rid of a lot of items that her father had collected over time in order to make space and do this dream DIY garage makeover. Now, when I bought the house and she started to see like my decor style, she started to gift me certain pieces of her dad's, and essentially was just like giving me his trash. She said, she's like, I look at this as trash. Like, I'm not gonna do anything with it. Here you go. I have held on to those pieces for 3 years, and I have used them throughout little tiny decor pieces that we have done and little makeovers here and there. But I really was holding on to them because I wanted those to be the star of the show in the small details throughout this suite, to give her just a little surprise. So like when she comes in this space and she sees the things that I've kept over time and they are so like neatly displayed, it doesn't look like a bunch of items thrown together, at least not to me. It looks like very curated, thoughtful pieces that I kept of his and used to make this room just feel a little bit more cozy for her. And just maybe makes her smile when she thinks about him. Because I never had the opportunity to meet him, but I love him. I love the daughter that he raised. And so it's just kind of nice to add that little thought to it. And then, you know, throw in the fact that normally I kill every green thing possible to have the plant wall potentially thrive and have her walk in and just consistently be proud of it. And I just hope all of that just adds to her just smiling and having a good time here and just making it hard for her to leave. I don't know. At least that's my plan.
Oh, if I put everything together that I did in this room, this would be like a 45-minute episode. Anyways, so I built this bed wrong. I built it right in my head, and then when I stepped back, I was like, oh, that rug, you should see it should be more of a headboard, but I digress. I just chalked it up to a loss and moved forward with the details. If there is one thing you should know about my best friend, well, she is obsessed with plants, so that's what we're going to give her throughout this whole space. I also had a couple of pieces on hand of lumber that I literally have been saving for a couple years, with using them as art pieces in my spaces. I know this is just crazy. It feels like I'm just throwing a bunch of trash into this space, but please trust me. Just trust me. I also love the fact that I've been growing out these plants for years as well, and she's like watched them thrive, and now I get to move them into this space, and hopefully she's a little bit proud. Anywho, for the built-ins that we did, I did not want to put a like solid piece of wood because we have those sconces hanging up. I wanted the light to travel through. So I had this thick piece of glass my friend Christy gave me that I literally used a glass cutter and just some force of my own hand to crack that down and slide it into place to create this glass shelving so the light can travel through the entire built-in. For the facing of the built-ins, the texture that you see there is going to be the reclaimed lumber that Lindsay and I demoed from when we literally ripped out the old jacuzzi almost 2 years ago here on my property. So again, this room is a little bit more the maximalist textured, overdoing it a little bit room, but please trust that this isn't going to carry its way through the house. That is just the theme of this room because it is based around the human that I love the most. Some of the decor is definitely pulled from my 40-foot trailer makeover that I have recently ripped apart, and that's a future Rachel problem. But anyways, I love the fact that when she comes in here, she is going to walk down memory lane in so many different ways and just consistently settle in. And the before is just so wild in comparison to the now. Something that I will say time and time again for anybody that ever watches my channel is that you are DIYing the life that you love, right? So at the end of the day, yes, as much as you want it Pinterest worthy, or maybe you want to be able to post it from every angle on Instagram, for me, it's about the person in the space, how they feel, and honestly, how I feel waking up in this space or going to bed. And honestly, with this space in particular, yes, it might be a little bit texture overload to some people. It might just feel a little bit too much, but you know, if I'm too much, go find less. And I think that's really like the air of this room, and that is definitely the vibe of me and my best friend.
All right, one room down, minus the light fixture because I definitely forgot to wire that in.
One hesitation I do have when showing this reveal is like I feel like the camera adds 10 pounds of decor. When you are in this space physically in real life, it is larger than life and you have a lot of like space to move and breathe. This just makes it feel a little bit more claustrophobic. But that could also just be me being insanely insecure now that I'm actually coming back and putting some work out there that is completed to be judged. Anyways, I will see you soon for another DIY. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for your patience, your love, and it's good to be back.